Hello everyone, it's Miss Tebow and welcome to our second read aloud lesson. This time we're going to be focusing on bearded dragons and their habitats. So just like in our last lesson, I'm going to be using Edpuzzle to insert questions to check for knowledge and to just make sure that everyone's on the same page and we're all on track. So if a question comes along that confuses you, or a question comes along that you don't know the answer to, do not worry. You can always skip the question if you're not, comfortable leaving an answer. It's completely fine. I want everybody to be comfortable. I don't want anybody to feel anxious during this lesson. I want everybody to feel happy and excited to be learning about something that I'm really passionate about, which is bearded dragons. So without further ado, I want to show you a picture. So, what animal do you think this picture is of? So, this picture that I drew is of a bearded dragon. Bearded dragons are a pretty common pet for people to have. They're native to Australia and they can grow up to be 20 to 24 inches long. They are part of the reptile family. Specifically, they are part of the lizard family. And we will be learning more about them in our read aloud lesson, which is up next. For our second read aloud, I decided to use a story that I created using the website StoryJumper, which is something that you can all do as well. It's a very straightforward, easy to use website. So if you have any kind of ideas to make a book, use that website and show me whatever you come up with. So I decided to title this story after my pet bearded dragon, who I made this story after. This story is called A Very Happy Quetzal and it's created by me, Miss Olivia Tebow. This is Quetzal. He is a bearded dragon. Bearded dragons are a type of reptile that many people have as pets. Australia, which is hot, dry, and sunny, is the original habitat of bearded dragons. A habitat is where an animal lives. Although reptiles come in different shapes and sizes, they have many similarities. One thing they have in common is that they are cold-blooded. So where have we heard the word cold-blooded before? So in our last read aloud, that word actually came up too when talking about reptiles that live in the desert. It mentioned that they are cold-blooded animals. So what does that mean? This doesn't mean that Quetzal needs to wear a sweater and drink some hot chocolate to warm up. Being cold-blooded means that Quetzal warms his body by using his habitat. If the sun is out, Quetzal is warm. If Quetzal is warm, he will run, eat, and play. When the sun goes down, Quetzal is cold. When Quetzal is cold, he will hide, curl up, and sleep. Human beings like you and I are warm-blooded. Unlike reptiles, we stay warm whether our habitat is cold or hot. Quetzal is our reptile friend, so we need to make sure that his new habitat is comfortable. We give him plenty of light, plants, food, and water. The light bulbs in Quetzal's case make his new habitat hot. If the light bulbs are on, Quetzal is warm. When Quetzal is warm, he will run, eat, and play. If the light bulbs are off, Quetzal is cold. When Quetzal is cold, he will hide, curl up, and sleep. What are some of the similarities between Quetzal's original habitat and his new habitat? So some similarities are the grass, branch, and worms. They're all the same. We want to make Quetzal feel comfortable. To do that, we need to make sure his new habitat is a good fit. If his habitat is a good fit, we will have a very happy Quetzal. And here is a picture of Quetzal the bearded dragon. Let's my pet, and he's about 5 months old now. He's still very young, very tiny, but he's growing and he's getting bigger every single day. And I can't wait to show you more of him. Okay? And before I continue, the next video is going to be a setup of the bearded dragon enclosure. And you're going to hear my voice voicing over the different items that are going into the container. And that is the next video up for you to watch. Okay? Alright, so in the case already, we have the boulder, which Quetzal will climb on top of in order to get closer to his heat lamp. And then we have his water dish, and then followed by his water dish, the food dish. You can see the crickets and the different insects that are live crawling around Quetzal's case as well. Thermometer that gauges how hot or how cool Quetzal's case is. A decorative cactus, and then some rocks that Quetzal will play with. It helps him feel a little bit more at home. Another rock. And then there is Quetzal the bearded dragon. He is what inspired the story of Very Happy Quetzal. He is my pet bearded dragon. He's only about 5 months old now. And then there's his heat lamp. Alright, now we're moving on to the activity portion of the Read Aloud lesson. So for this activity, I'm asking that you have a piece of blank paper and then some utensils that you can color and draw with. So for this activity, I'm asking that you pick between illustrating a bearded dragon enclosure and a bearded dragon's natural habitat. So this would mean the natural habitat being the desert, and then the enclosure being, a bearded dragon's tank. So, for example, an enclosure would look like this, and then the natural habitat would look more like this. It's a desert habitat. See? So what these two have in common is that I have labeled both of them. So I'm expecting 3 different labels for 3 different items in either, the bearded dragon enclosure or in the desert habitat. There is plenty of vocabulary and academic language guides for you on our lessons Padlet if you do have any questions or concerns with spelling or with the names of different items. And you can also feel free to go back to my enclosure setup video if you forget the names of some of the items that are in the enclosure. And there we go. All right, in closing, now that we're finished with the activity, I'm asking that with the help of a parent, guardian, or family member, you upload your illustration onto Padlet. There's a little area for you to do so on our lessons Padlet. With the help of a parent, guardian, or family member, I'm asking that you complete that and you upload it so we can all see it, we can all share our creations with one another. Thank you very much.